Let's take our improvisation one step further. Let's add another set of potential boxes up the neck. Now, a lot of people, when they start learning these things, will spend a lot of time really woodshedding scales. And one could argue, I believe there's a lot of value in learning your scales. Music teachers have been saying this for years and years and years. There's a reason people do learn them. With that said, for the average person, it becomes kind of overwhelming to memorize all of these fingerings. And of course, we've already established that our sort of geometric approach to the guitar makes the data aspect of this kind of daunting. There's a lot of data. There's a lot of information. So what I want you thinking about is not so much what's the big scale, but what's the context that we're in. So if the context for the last lesson was boxes out of an A minor bar chord, then what I'd like to do is do the same thing in a different area of the neck. If I just take this A minor bar up here, so what we might call the A shape minor chord, and we start looking for parallel relationships. Well, this is a cool thing. You know how there's basically two primary types of basic rock bar chords, the E shape and the A shape. If that is not familiar to you, that is something for another lesson, but I figure it likely is. That's a fundamental piece of vocabulary lots of people know. Take the bar chord, slide it around to different places. Well, these formations have things in common and things that are different. If I am working from this A minor, the one that we were using previously, my pentatonic scale looks like this. I'm going to go to this A, an octave higher, starting on the 5th string instead of the 6th, and my fingering pattern is identical. Up 3, up 2. So I now have an octave of where I started. Okay, well, our previous box was down here. Move that up an octave. Let's see what happens. That's not it. There it is. If you needed a reminder, think about the shape of the chord, right? We are shadowing the chord. So it would make an awful lot of sense to say there's a box here inside that chord, and that there's one here. So what I want to do is add into our mental picture here the upper octave from down here to this with the fingering change. And then we'll do the same thing with this one. Our original box started on the 5th fret 4th string. And then there was an additional skip. So up here, it's going to be, if I'm starting from the 7th G, here's our A minor chord again. Be good to identify that octave A, because the 7th is below the octave, which is 8, right? 8, 7. Now I'm still using a minor pentatonic, so this is a minor 7. And then we had this too. Now we're going on to these notes. So the box is over and back. So basically, I'm only using 2 figures in 2 different registers, and I'm not going to change any notes. These are all the options that I have, but I am still working with variables in rhythm, dynamics, contour, tone. So I'm giving you an example. The idea is not for you to learn the licks I am playing. The idea is for you to take the boxes I am working from and come up with your own permutations. Let's start up high against the track.